You rolling? Okay. He's nibbling my finger. Okay, so we have 9 baby rescue bunnies currently living upstairs in this box, or this bucket. Um, what was it? 11 days ago, our dogs found a nest in the backyard of these guys, and 2 of the rabbits ended up in our dog's mouth, but this is one of them, and he or she was saved. Um, one of the back legs does not work, but it's still pretty chunky and moving around. So I have been bottle feeding these guys twice a day. Um, I just use kitten food replacer milk. I actually went to Petco and I talked to a lady that has 15 rabbits at home, so she told me exactly what to do. It was challenging at first because they didn't know how to take the bottle, but you just gotta kind of like find where their mouth opens and just give little drops at a time so they know what it is. But now they're super used to it, and when they hear me talk, they come out in the mornings. It's pretty cute. But I will show you the situation that we have going on here.
All right, here we go.
So there are 9. So this one we named Poppy. See, one of the legs doesn't work that great. And then this one we named Wheels. Both back legs are paralyzed from the dogs. But it still crawls around okay, so obviously those 2 wouldn't survive in the wild, so we're just going to keep them as long as we can and try to give them the best life possible. The other guys are pretty close to being released back into the wild. So we have in our middle pasture, like a briar patch. We cut down 2 really large trees and we put them over in an area, and we were going to do a big bonfire. And then one evening we saw like 10 rabbits circling and running around this thing, so obviously we cannot burn that. So we do have like a bunny haven in our middle pasture, and these guys, unfortunately the mom just chose a really bad spot to put her nest. And we actually put a game trail camera out because moms usually come morning and evening to feed. And for 2 days she didn't come back, so we just decided these guys, they weren't going to make it on their own. So we brought them inside, but they're growing pretty fast. And I put some alfalfa hay in here, a waterer, this little bunny treat stick, and you can see they're already nibbling down all of this. So it's pretty cool to see them growing. They're growing fast. And they started out, when I was first bottle feeding them, they would only eat maybe half of this bottle. We're going through a full bottle every single feeding now, so these guys are getting pretty big. So I'm just gonna go ahead and feed Poppy first because Poppy loves it.
So this has been going on for how many days now? We're a little over a week.
Yeah, 11 days I think.
hmm So with it, I think the first 2 days was they were super skeptical. They took a couple little bites of from the bottle, didn't know what to do. Now, as y'all can see, like they are just taken to it, no issue. With there being so many of them, we've got a little system that we're gonna show y'all because they all look the same, other than maybe 1 or 2 have some markings on their foreheads. But we have to put them to a different box after they've eaten, because otherwise, good luck trying to find which ones have eaten and which ones have not.
Yeah, that got really confusing the first day. I was overwhelmed because I didn't know who had eaten and who didn't.
So it took about 2 days for them to really take to the bottle, and now at this point they feed no problem. They go until their stomachs are full, and then that's about it. They go over to this little holding box that we have over here, and that's where they just kind of wait while all of the rest of them get fed, so that nobody gets too much, and then also nobody misses out. But I don't know what it looks like is we've probably got a few more weeks with them. that they're, going to be getting raised up here in the house before they get moved over to that outside Bunny Haven briar patch that we have. So that's going to be nice. Don't really have to worry too much about predators, as much as you can help it. The middle pasture has no climb fencing all around. It's like 2 inch by 4 inch. So, we have dozens of rabbits out there that we've seen. And that's why it did not end up getting burned as a bonfire. So all but two of them are going to be able to get re-released. The other two, like we talked about, they've got back leg issues. One of them looks paralyzed on both legs.
You can see it right now. He's
Okay, yeah, there you go.
crawling around.
So tries to move around, does as good a job as he can, with just having the fronts. Eating no problem, but this is for sure going to be one of the ones that just, lives on the farm with us. Oh my goodness. Just absolutely loving it. Um,
Cute.
so because two of them do have those hind leg issues, they're not going to get released into the wild. It'd be, just they wouldn't last long at all between snakes, hawks, and other rodents that are out to eat them. So
Well, and I was looking at bunny rescues for these guys too, because they could, I thought they would know how to take better care of them, but the lady at Petco that has all the rabbits, she said that they would just put them down, which is sad. They still, they're still eating. They can use the bathroom. They're moving around. They know they can make their way to the water and the alfalfa hay over here, and they have each other. So that doesn't sit well with me. So as long as possible, they'll live with us. And these rabbits too, cottontails, they don't have a long lifespan already. I think, like, crazy enough, I read 11 months is the average in the wild, and then 3 years is like considered a long time. So these guys have a pretty quick life.
I had no idea when you said that.
Yeah.
I know it's pretty rough out there for them between predators and the elements, but I just never would have thought that their average lifespan was 11 months. So, first and finish, this is where we rotate them over so that we
Yeah.
don't miss out on feeding one of them. But, for people that are watching now that have come in, we've got 9 total, and 2 of them, they've got paralyzed back legs. One of them can't use either of its back legs. And
This
then
one can't.
this is the one with both paralyzed.
Yeah, his eyes kind of closed shut. I'm gonna have to get some water for that or something.
What's this one's name?
This is Wheels.
Okay, so Wheels is totally paralyzed in the back leg. So Wheels is one of the two that is not going to get re-released into the wild. Wheels is just going to live on the farm with us. So as part of getting rehabbed and raised here, this is just we've got 2 of them that they're going to stay with us. The other 7, we've got that really big middle pasture and the briar patch for them. So that's going to be really cool to be able to release them into a place that is about as safe as you can get. But for the other 2 that do have back leg issues, they're going to be living on the farm. We're not sure exactly what we're going to do. I know some people have had success having them share chicken coops. So we've got 2 different chicken coops. For anybody who's watched the channel, you've seen the farm vlog that shows that layout. So that's a possibility, but
Yeah, and I've looked at like wheelchairs too, and bunnies, because they hop. It's a little different dynamic. I was also talking to the guy at Petco about this too, and he was saying like you could definitely try, but because they hop around, it might not be the same feel of getting around that they're used to. So I don't know. I'm just gonna play around with some stuff and see what they do best with. They can crawl around just fine, so that's okay. But it might be more for me than them to have something to propel them with their back legs. But for feeding these guys, it used to take like 20 minutes. Now it takes like 35 to 40 minutes to feed them because they're just eating so much.
they took to the bottle so well after day 2.
Yeah.
And, now you can definitely see the size getting put on them. When we found them, they had just started opening their eyes.
Yeah.
So a few days old, abandoned by mom, found by our dogs, so we've now had them a little over a week, and they're putting size on. They're very active within this little enclosure that we have inside the house. And surprisingly enough, when we bought this little feeding stick down there, it now looks like an eaten up corn cob. I didn't think that that's something that they were even going to touch, and woke up this
Well,
morning and they took down half of it.
and the alfalfa hay too. I am like overflowing this bucket every day. Look, this one's ready for food. Hey, wait your turn. Look at that.
They know that bottle.
They know it. Hold on. Yeah, they're eating the alfalfa hay too, for sure, because that's full every night before bed, and they wake up. These are more, I think they're more like nocturnal. I mean, they're morning and dusk kind of animals, but when I come in here in the evening to feed them and it's dark, they're running around and, causing chaos down here.
Well, that's what we found in the pasture where we're going to be releasing the 7 that can go back into the wild. Is we've got, about the size of a swimming pool where we took the tractor and dug out what was going to be a little pond, and it turned into where we put all of the tree branches, and it was going to be a bonfire, and then that's where we saw all the rabbits were coming out. And I think it's around 7 p.m. that they're just running around like crazy. So they're definitely more nocturnal. This is just
This is
hilarious.
adorable.
They've taken to this bottle so fast.
Some
I'm
of them are like
shocked.
aggressive eaters. I was really worried the first 2 days. I felt bad because you gotta kind of like lift up their lip with the bottle, and then try to just pour some down them. And they just weren't taken to it. But finally, by day 3, they knew what it was. So the way I do it is I just like I heat it up a little bit, not too hot, but you want it to be temperature like it's coming from their mom. And then I can hold them in my hand now because they don't struggle because they're used to it. But in the beginning, I had wrapped them in a little towel because rabbits have such strong back legs that they can cause spinal injuries if they resist too hard. Which is, I think, what happened to these guys when they were in the dog's mouth. They probably resisted so much that they may have broken their own back legs from that. Hey, slow down. Relax. So you got to be kind of careful with it. They're really delicate. But there's a balance there. So yeah, I can hold them in my hand now because they relax.
They're not struggling. I remember the first couple days, it'd be the front legs were kicking so much to try it.
Yeah.
Oh, just getting that milk mustache off. Their teeth are for sure coming through really well. But
Sometimes they eat so fast that they're just like gasping for air. You want more?
but yeah, so this is, how many are in here? What do we have?
This is the third, so there
5.
should be 6 more down there.
Nope, I think we have one crawling around, buried somewhere. They're so funny. They tunnel. When we first had this set up before we moved it to this dry base, we just took hay from the pasture, and
We are missing one.
you'd look. That's what I think. I think one of them is crawling down up underneath.
One is buried somewhere.
But they just make their little tunnels. When we first found the nest that the mom had abandoned, uh, it looked like the ground was breathing like your chest does, just raising up and down. They're packed in there so tightly. They just really try to. Oh, you got one? Got one? They are so
Yeah,
much
I'm
more
trying to see.
mobile now.
We are definitely missing one. One is definitely buried underneath somewhere.
Let's do a recount. We're supposed to have 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Uh-oh. Are we bad rabbit parents? There's no way it jumped out of here.
No,
This
there's
is.
no way. I'm gonna have to dig.
They were tunneling in the last setup, but. Oh no.
Oh my god, where is the rabbit?
Oh, wait, hold on. Is this? Oh, there we go. These
Wait.
guys were on.
Oh, was it on top of it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think. Uh-oh.
Oh my
What do we
gosh.
have?
Well, look, they're
One,
tunneling down.
5. I think we have 5 in here.
There's 3 in there. All right. Well, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go digging in a minute. It'll be easier when they're out of there.
All right. There's
Okay,
supposed to
so-
be 9, and there's no way that any of them jumped out of this.
Okay, look, that one just tunneled under, so it's got to be under somewhere. They're just tunneling down.
Oh no.
Okay, well, I did bring them downstairs one day because my best friend brought her little 3-year-old over, and he wanted to see them, and one of them definitely. We were watching TV later that night, and we heard something, and I was like, "What is that noise?" And we turned around, and there was a baby bunny running through the living room. So.
Your face froze. I had no idea what had happened.
Well, it looked like a mouse at first. I was like, "What is that?"
So open this up, show these guys. These are the ones that have already been fed. And so over on the left, you can see, is that Wheels with the 2 paralyzed back legs?
This is Wheels.
Yep.
This is Poppy. See its leg. This leg
Something happened.
doesn't work.
But it's definitely the chunkiest out of all of them.
Oh my gosh, it's like a little chinchilla.
Yeah. Right.
All right, can y'all wait? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is tripping me out.
We're missing one. I don't know how, but
Well, I know how.
well.
They're doing this. Come here. Come here.
They go from wanting to be all tight together to sprinting all throughout this bucket where they're in. This is really impressive. They've taken to the bottle so well. This is a week into it.
Some of them will like feed off of it themselves. Others, they just put it in their mouth and I have to like squeeze it a little bit. They're a little more lazy. But I appreciate the ones like this that do it on their own.
They're just doing all the work.
Yeah, because my hand gets tired.
They're not struggling to get out of your hand anymore. The first few days, you had to wrap them in a towel to keep their front arms down so that we could try to get them to just understand, like, hey, this is good. You need the bottle.
Look when they're feeding, their eyes kind of glaze over. They get a little watery. They're just like, it's so good.
I'm loving it. This one's getting bigger too, like significantly.
There's some chunky ones, and they're pretty strong. Like when I pick them up, they're ready to rock and roll.
They all know what this bottle is about. Back up on the hind legs and trying to get your attention. Okay, I'm getting down on some alfalfa to start the morning.
Okay, can we not get in the bowl? Someone peed in the bowl yesterday,
Oh,
so I
no.
had to clean it.
Oh no.
Is that enough? All right. I really hope we can find this other rabbit. Goodness.
They're in here somewhere. We have 9. We know that there's 9. This one's sitting up all proper.
This is one that Dainty it wants me to feed it. Look, it's just looking at it.
So what do you think as far as how long we're going to be rehabbing the 7 that are going to get to go out into the pasture and live in the rabbit briar patch?
It's tough to say. The lady at Petco said when they get all of their teeth in that they're pretty much ready to go. She said we're gonna have to kick them out a little bit before what we would originally think based on their size. But I don't know. I think we're gonna kind of play it by ear and see. It's a tough world out there, you know. But I don't want to keep them so long that they get dependent on this. So I'm just gonna keep playing it by ear and
Yeah.
see. One of my other friends is actually rehabbing some baby bunnies too, and they are like full grown at this point. So
Yeah,
she may have missed the window, but I don't know. It's tough to say. But luckily for these guys, there's definitely a bunny haven in our middle pasture, so they'll get adopted into the community and they'll learn from there. Okay.
just getting down on the bottle. So we know we have a lot of subscribers who have their farms or live in a rural area. If any of y'all have rehabbed bunnies, please let us know. Drop a comment. I know this is a live, but we'll absolutely go back and check. If you have experience doing this, let us know if there was like a certain size or activity level where they got to a point where, that's when you're reintroducing them back out into the wild. Um, these guys are great. We know we have for sure a few more weeks just because their size right now, I don't know, it's probably about the size of a peach, maybe. It's probably fair.
Yeah, I mean, they're the size of a large mouse.
Yeah, they've grown a lot in the last week. They're definitely eating. It's really nice that they've taken to the bottle as much as they have. It was something that we know when we were reading. I guess it takes about 2 days, is what people were saying.
To get used to the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's not, yeah. Especially because they're being handled by a human, they're wrapped up in a towel. It's just not what they've been doing.
Yeah, and especially with these guys, their nest was it was abandoned by mom. For anybody who's just now coming over to watch, the dogs had found the nest in the yard, and luckily it was in an area that was fenced off, so we were able to close the fence off and set up a game trail camera and see if mom was going to come back. And for 2 days, there was just no activity, and at that point, they were really looking lethargic. So
Yeah, they got really lean and thin.
yeah, somebody said this brings back memories of the time I raised an orphaned wild rabbit. When she was little, I made a leash for her to hop in the yard. Oh no, don't go giving her ideas. There's gonna be.
So I've thought about getting, there's like little tiny collars that you can get, which I think would help for feeding at least. So we don't have to put them in the bucket, but I have thought of like maybe a little skateboard for the paralyzed ones, just to help them move around a little bit, and experience life.
Yeah, if anybody, like I said earlier, anybody who has experience with this, because so many of our subscribers do live in rural areas or grew up on a farm or something like that, I've seen that they can live in a chicken coop. We're definitely not keeping all these. Want everybody to know that. The only reason we're talking about the two that are staying is because their back legs, one is completely paralyzed, one of them only has the use of one, and it's just not going to be feasible to survive in the wild. So 7 are absolutely going to go out to the little rabbit briar patch that we have in our middle pasture, but these other two, they're just going to have to live their days out on the farm. um, and okay, so this person said you will sense when they're ready to return to the wild. So
I feel that, yeah. Thank you for that too, because you read online and there's just,
we got a jumper.
no, don't do it. Yeah, you read online and everybody has a different opinion on it, but I kind of feel that too. Like, I'll kind of know size-wise and when they're not taking to the bottle as much. They're definitely transitioning over to the alfalfa and the chew stick, so that's good. And yeah, I look on Amazon and there's like all these bunny rabbit treats and stuff, so I might be trying to spoil them a little bit more with that before their send off.
It's nice that they're taken to the alfalfa so that we know that they're going to be able to eat. We're really fortunate that our pastures have some amazing grass, and they're going to be able to feed off of that. Um, with as many as we have in that middle pasture already, it's definitely
Well,
something that they can
yeah.
thrive in that environment.
And we have a couple longhorns in that pasture too, so there's definitely no coyotes or predators getting in there.
Nope.
And then Maya, our Great Pyrenees, anytime a hawk or a buzzard or something flies over our place, she goes ballistic. She's super protective of our chickens, so I think that helps too. We really don't see any hawks in our pasture anymore because of her. This one is very hungry.
It was a hungry morning for this one. Yeah, so I think that we'll be pretty good there. So for those 7, whenever we can put them out and they're ready to go, live out in the wild, we'll have that. But for these other two, that's just something we're gonna, do some more research on, and definitely take anybody's input if they've done this or if they've had rabbits cohabitate in a chicken coop. Let us know. That's kind of what we're thinking is going to make the most sense so that they can be outside. We do have an extra chicken coop that we have not built out yet. So it's a big 8x8. That might be something that we build that one out, and we can make that kind of the rabbit habitat on the property. What else do we have?
So I'm a little nervous because last night I got in from class pretty late and I had to feed them. And I'm wondering if I counted all of them out of the feeding box properly.
I think we're about to go on an adventure because they're not in here. So,
About to look. Do you have any bunnies in here?
all right, now we're going on a search and rescue mission.
Okay, I'm gonna put these. I'm gonna count these out and put them back in, and then we'll know.
All right.
So we've got.
Okay, so I just read, do not put them in with tame domestic rabbit. Okay, so luckily we don't have any domestic rabbits. I say luckily, tongue in cheek, because anything's an option with this girl. On our farm, we have some longhorn cattle, we've got chickens, and we've got dogs. So no other animals yet. Don't have to worry about, mixing them in with any domesticated rabbits. This all happened by accident just because of, the dogs finding the nest that was abandoned. Oh, shoot. Is that Wheels? That is Wheels. So
Yep,
Wheels
that's
is the one with paralyzed back legs, but it's definitely getting around as good as you could hope for.
There's 8.
Okay, so we got to find one.
Bunny on the loose.
All right, here we go. It's time to find a rabbit. This was unplanned, unexpected. Let's see. Oh no, we're not good rabbit parents. A towel in the where? You guys are coming along on this adventure to find another rabbit.
Oh my gosh.
They curl up in such small areas.
It must have jumped out of the feeding box last night.
Okay. We're gonna find it. So physical therapy for the one that's paralyzed. We're not sure. We don't know what the options are. So this is something that we're going to do some research on and see.
So I did hear that if it's like something spinal related, sometimes they can work out of it. Like Poppy, the one that has one leg that kind of works and one leg that doesn't work. Originally, it only had like 2 back legs that weren't working, so the one did come back. The other one just kind of drags behind, so yeah, you can kind of do some stuff, but like the Wheels that has the 2 back legs, they're kind of like, they're already starting to atrophy, sadly, so I don't know if that one's going to come back, but I do try to at least exercise them a little bit and kind of, because they're not supposed to drag behind, so I do try to place it upright when I can and let it sit there. But it's really challenging because if it's spinal, you can't really do much there.
There's movement. They do have some movement in them. It's just not that full physical capability that you would want to see that all the other 7 have. You guys, we're going on an adventure. Okay,
we might have to pause this and bring them back. I could bring Cabby up here because Cabby's not.
Okay, yeah. Let's bring in one of our dogs. We're gonna find this rabbit. So we're gonna bring up Cabby. She is our smallest dog. She's our golden doodle. And we're gonna see if she can sniff out this rabbit. Hey Cabs, this is our helper.
Cabby, she luckily will not eat the bunny.
Hello.
She more wants to play with it. Hey, can you help us find this rabbit, please? Come here.
I cannot believe this happened.
Hey, Cabby, what's that? What's that? Can you find some?
What do we got, Cab? We got some people invested in this. They want to know we've got to find the rabbit.
I can't believe. I think we might have to empty out this closet.
All right. Oh,
Cabby.
sorry.
Cabby, what is it? What is it? You smell anything?
What do you got, Cap?
Did you look under your golf bag?
Yeah, I moved that.
Cabby, what is it? You smell anything? Did you look under the thing?
Triple checking everything would be best.
There's no way it would have made its way downstairs.
No, the dogs were downstairs this morning, so that's not it. We are looking for a fluff ball. So we're over in the office now, and no signs of a rabbit yet. How did this happen? There's our outdoors closet. This is check the bag with the golf clubs. Let's see. It is possible.
I don't think it would have left this room.
So let's just pull this whole thing out.
Okay. I just want to be careful.
Yeah, of course.
I don't see anything.
Okay. Yeah, let me see that light.
Oh gosh, if it climbed all the way down there.
All right. Where is the rabbit?
So I think the next best thing is just pull stuff out of the closet.
Okay. We thought we were doing good with our system of having 2 different boxes.
Yeah, I must have just miscounted last night. So I'm gonna pull this one out.
Okay. Look over off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's the rabbit? Come on. Be a good helper. What do you got? Where is it, Kev? All right, we do not know where this rabbit went. We don't know how it got out. We're gonna find it.
Yeah, we might have to pause and do a follow-up when we
Yeah, I don't think I'm being that much help with just one hand. So this is going to be, gosh, we appreciate y'all watching. This was totally unplanned. I think that we are going to have to come back and do an update. We'll put an update in the comments that all 9 are safe and secure. But we appreciate you guys watching. We just have to fully dedicate to finding this rabbit. So we are going to end the live.
Yeah, we will be back. We will find this bunny.
We're going to find Bunny, and then we'll let y'all know. And be back for another feeding video tomorrow, I think. Or are you going to do one tonight?
Well, I have to do one tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I eat every day. So
That's
yeah, we
right.
can jump back on.
All right.
Have all 9 in hand. I hope we're not the only ones who have houses like this.
Yeah.
The rooms you don't use as much, just pile up everything. Cool. All right. Well, we're gonna get all hands on deck because we need all hands to lift stuff.
Yep. Okay. I got some good ideas in here. We appreciate the feedback, and we will update this one. Then we'll be back tonight with another feeding and some updates on all the rabbits. Thanks so much for watching.